Hey, you guys out there in Lima Christian Distance Learning Land. It's Mrs. Garlock or Mama G. My new YouTube channel, thanks to my daughters, is called Mama G. That's where you're going to find all these wonderful links take you to. Today we are doing our lesson 2 still, and it is the mouse, but we're on to part B. This is where we're going to be refining the drawing. So you guys have already done a simple drawing. Make sure you have that out, and then we'll refine it. So what you're going to need? Well, you're going to need a paper, but what I should have told you is that you need the mouse that you already drew with simple shapes. So what did that look like? That was from lesson A. It's this guy right here. So go find that right now. So turn off pause your video if you need to go find that. And you're going to need a paper. Oh, that's your paper. You're going to need a pencil and an eraser. And if you want to, if you haven't already printed up the photograph, go ahead and get that. You don't necessarily need the dry erase and the marker, dry erase marker and the plastic sleeve, but you can get those out if you want to. Those are just optional. You need your mouse drawing, a pencil, and eraser. So we're going to refine this thing today. So let me tell you a little bit how I refine this, but I'm going to show you where we're headed to. So here is our mouse right now. We're going to be refining it a little bit, and what we want to look for when we go to do this is how those shapes actually connect to the mouse in the photograph. So you do need the photograph around, or at least be watching me here. I'm going to take my photograph out of my plastic sleeve so I can see it a little bit better, and I'm going to show you how we get to this. Okay, hello mouse. He's so cute, I love him. Okay, here's my pencil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this mouse shape by shape, and I'm going to say, okay, I've got an oval connected to an oval. I've got an oval connected to an oval. I got this partial oval connected to this. How do they actually connect when I look at this? So if I look at this first oval right here, I can see that his head doesn't just connect right there. It has a little curve in it right here. You can kind of feel that little curve. So I'm going to curve that and attach that there. And lo and behold, if I go to the next shape, the same thing is kind of happening. This doesn't just connect here. We have this little triangle here, or a little curve that kind of goes from here and connects into there. Okay, so we already have that. That's looking pretty good. We need our eraser too, because as we go, we want to get rid of stuff that's just going to be annoying here. So I'm going to go ahead and erase a couple things. You erase them too, if you would. And that is those two areas there definitely need to be erased. Not too much else needs to be erased yet. Those are the biggies right now that are going to confuse us or frustrate us. All right, so if I look at this mouse, I'm actually going to steal this plastic sleeve back again because I want you to be able to see what I'm seeing here. So I'll put Mousy Mouse back in here. So here's what I'm seeing. We already found that oval. I'll put him right back in here so you can see it. All right, we'll line them right up again. Okay, there's my mouse, pretty much lined up. So if I were to erase what I see on here, because that's kind of getting in my way, I can see that if this was the oval that I had, and I just erased part of it, okay, that I have this little area that I got to put in. So what did I miss so far? Well, that oval goes, oh, that on top of there, that's not going to right. That oval still extends a little here. Okay, you see that? I erased a little too much of it. This one right here, I had the oval here, and I erased the base part of it, but I still kind of need that. So what I can see here is this still crosses into here until it hits that ear right there. Okay, so how am I figuring that out? Because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on here. Well, one of the ways you can do this is you can squint at it. And when you squint at it, it helps you be able to see things a little bit easier because it drops out what we call the midtones, which are kind of the light or the medium gray or medium value colors. And it helps us see the lights and the darks. So I have that so far. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, what about where this oval connects this foot? Because right now it looks like we have like a little sausage sitting on, I don't know, a little turtle shell. And that's not what it really looks like. So let's look at this again. I made it a simple oval, but what's happening here is there's actually a little bend in it. I don't know if you guys can see that there. So where it meets the head is fine, but it's going to come out and come a little straighter down. And then it's going to take a little bend over here. Okay, that's a little bit closer, and actually can go even a little farther than that. So I can see how far it goes. It goes way down here, and then it bends over. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. So that's a little closer to what that is. All right, what's going on right here? Well, right here, actually, when I squinted at it, I could see this dark and I could see this light, and I can see this has a little curve to it right here. So instead of this being concave, you can see that that's kind of like scooping up. It's convex. It's going the opposite way. So I can change that and erase what I don't need. Okay, let's keep going here. So we've got that. Let's move over to this side over here. This looks pretty good right here. This looks pretty good right here. I'm going to leave those ones, but I do see an additional line that I didn't copy before, and it's right above the little paw here. So I need to get that little line in, and if you look at it, it touches the face, but it doesn't touch the outside of the arm because it's actually a little bend there. So now I've got that in. That's looking good. When I talk about, let's look at the eyes for a minute here. So that eye looks pretty good. This eye actually does look pretty good. I think it's a little bit more of a hill. You see that little hill, crowning of the hill out here, and it's a little flatter on that side. This one's looking pretty good. I think that it might be slightly tilted, which I missed before, but that's okay. But remember, we're gonna make sure we have it the right distance. So here's what I see here. This distance is farther than this distance. That means something's got to change. Either my eyeball has to move closer to my other one, or I have to make my face fatter. Well, if I look at this space between my little critter's eyes, that's not bad. So I think I need to make my face a little bit bigger, which makes sense because look where it catches up with the ear. So I'm going to make this face just a little bit bigger on this side. Change that up. Oh, it's actually down here, and then it's like angled. So I'm going to change that up, and that's looking a little bit better, a little mousier here. And I'm going to look at this other side the same way. The other side's not too bad, but I can still see that this line here is a little bit more angled. Do you see that? Angle, angle, line, line. That was from volleyball, beach volleyball. Never mind. Okay, there we go. So that's looking better there. How about this little nose down here? Let's make sure we get that. So that's like straight line, straight line. It's this weird little shape. So I'm going to make straight line, a little angle, and then a little bit angled on the bottom there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's get it close here. See that little thing? Okay, good. You guys see that now? All right. And on we go. So the other parts that I'm finding is I'm squinting at it because my mouse does have some areas that are light and some areas that are a little bit darker. So, and there are changes in the color too. So if I squint at this, his heart becomes almost a his nose becomes almost a heart right here. You can see this shape of the kind of black around it. I'm going to draw that in. I also see this shape of white and a little bit of this white on his cheeks. And then I see a little bit of different value in here that I'll show you in a second. Actually, I'm going to simplify it even more. I'm going to leave it like that for now. And I see a little change back here. There's a dark area and a little bit of light area. There's also a couple funky things going on with his ears. So I'm going to show you that picture now, and then you can pause and you can draw it. But think through those things. Don't just copy mine. Think through them. So here we go. That completed part, which is lesson 2. Part B of our mouse refining the shapes. So everybody 7th through 12th grade needs to get to this point before you move on to the next step. I love you guys. I hope you're having a great time at home doing some distance learning. I can't wait to see you again and hug you all. Yes, even you, Cole. Larice out.